Hi, I'm Nona for the ones that don't know me, but I'm pretty sure the people that's watching this probably do. If not, hi. So, I shared a lot of songs because I love music. It speaks to me, kind of speaks through me. I did not get the gift of the anointing of singing as good as I want to, but I shared them for a reason, and I'm going to get to that later. But whenever I do sing, I wanted to share a verse with you. I've been studying a lot. I've been in a season. So it says Isaiah 55:12. You will go out in joy and be led forth in peace. The mountains and the hills will burst into song before you, and all the trees of the fields will clap their hands. Like, thinking about that is to me amazing. Like, bursting into song. I love music, so you'll get that drift. I wanted to expose myself some, and this is probably the hardest thing that I've done. Whenever you let somebody in and you've been vulnerable and everything, it's hard. So this is a hard video. I like to cut up, so they probably won't all be like this, but this one is hard, and I've had to really pray about why I'm doing this. And I knew why I was doing it, but the processes, woo, like they're great. It helped me though. It helped me to get answers that I needed. One of them was, I didn't get the answers like how to record because I'm on my phone right now. I got the answers from God that I had questions about. Like, I've always felt like I was led to tell people about things that I've been through, but I didn't know how. I still don't know how, but if I can touch one person through this video that might be going through something in life similar to what I've went through, and it probably is going to take me more than one video because I've been through a lot of things. I was raised good. My dad was a preacher, religious home, private school, but I am exposed now, and I'm going to tell you my struggles whenever you have them. People have them. Some of mine were free will. Some of them were not free will, but both, God was the source, and He was saving me. So I cannot sit here and not share that. I cannot pass from this world knowing that God put me in situations, drug me through situations, and carried me through situations, and not give Him the glory just of what He has done for me. I just couldn't. So I am. And I was worried about the word false prophets. I listen to people on YouTube, and I listen to them, It makes me want to go to my Bible. And if I talk to you, that's something that I want you to do, is to go back to the Bible and the Word and your relationship with Christ, because this is just me. This is just my walk, my testimony, to maybe help somebody else see the peace that you can have, see the relationship, being in love with Christ, being in love with God, having a good spirit, it's everything. It's everything. And I wish that I would have not realized it 38 years later. So I was worried, am what I saying true? Like, am I going to hurt anybody? Or am I going to... That's common today, right? Always worried about that. I wanted to read some verses here. Matthew 7:15-20. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly, inside, they are ferocious wolves. 16. By their fruit. Okay, this is an important word, fruit. There's something on my face. Fruit. Okay. You
raise up warriors, Lord, who will...
Ringtone. Okay. By their fruit you will recognize them. It goes on to say about how trees and the ones that don't bear good fruit. And it does. That is a good verse because it talks about, just common sense. Are you going to go to one tree are you going to get fruit off a dead tree? Dead things cannot grow. It's a powerful verse. 2 Timothy 4:3-4. For a time will come when people will not put up with sound doctrine. Instead, to suit their own desires, they will gather around them a great number of teachers to say what their itching ears want to hear. They will turn their ears away from the truth and turn aside myths. So it's about putting your own desires away. That's what I got from that. And some people want to hold on to the fleshly desires and use God as a platform sometimes. And it's everywhere. And that is not what I'm doing. I just want to help somebody. And I had conviction that I needed to put this with my first video, with my anxiety, with me being exposed, because it's important to me. It's so important to me that over a year ago, I can keep up with the months. It's whenever you know that date, right? I decided I don't want this anymore. I started just truly surrendering for the first time ever. I thought that I was saved. I thought that I had surrendered. I had not. I surrendered. And I prayed, God, if you come after me and you get me, because I'm running for you, I'll endure anything that you throw at me, because I wanted it. And I went through a tough year because the devil does not like that. He doesn't like that. And I knew what was going on the whole time. It's spiritual. I'm a very spiritual person. So I had people speak against me. I had lies told on me. I had a lot of that went on. And Luke 6:26 says, woe to you when everyone speaks well of you, for that is how their ancestors treated false prophets. And I was just reading to make sure that my heart was right, and that I came across that. And I was like, wow. Not everybody's supposed to like you. I've always been different. I'm a different kind of person. I'm different. Have I wanted to be not different? Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of times. But it's okay if everybody doesn't like me. That's okay. I'm fine with that. I just want to be a light, and I had to go to a season of reflection in order to do that. People see me around and they're like, "Where have you been? Where you been? Where you been hiding?" I've been hiding, standing, walking, being guided. I've been in a deep relationship with God, and I had to get alone to do that. And some of the aloneness was not by my choice. Some of the aloneness during this last year and a half has been it's been spiritual growth for me. And it's made me want to share about who I am. In Ecclesiastes 3:1, it says, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven." So when I look back on my life, I don't see just bad. I see a lot of growth. I see a lot of me running like a teenager will run to, I need you. I need you, Mom. I need you. Even adult, baby, whatever. Then whenever they receive the help and they think they're okay, they go back to their old ways. It's spiritual warfare, completely spiritual warfare. But to truly surrender, I hadn't done that. I was running so far sometimes because God would answer my prayers and it wouldn't be what I wanted. And I would just run. I would run. I had the fear for God because I was like, if he's that powerful, I don't want him to answer any more of my prayers. I don't want him to, because I wasn't ready for him to answer that prayer. And I'm not ready to go through this. I don't want this right now. So I'm just going to go the opposite direction, totally opposite direction. And he was still there, because in every moment of my life was, don't let me die like this, God. Don't let me die like this. Don't let me lose my soul living in the flesh. I had that cry. Going through things in my life, I've hit my knees a lot. I have spread out on a floor with my hands held out, crying out to God after I was drunk, while I was drunk, begging for him to deliver me from that. It wasn't just the drinking, it was the pain buried deep inside of me that caused me to drink. I drank sometimes, not all the time, only whenever I would have like a day, and whenever I did it, I had conviction of it. I had a lot of conviction. I'm a flawed person, so I thought, why is God wanting me to tell everything that I went through and tell my personal relationship with him and how other people that's experiencing things could go through them? And I got to looking in the Bible and reading. Always go to the Bible. And there were so many people that had to go into seasons. Moses, David, Nathaniel, Ruth, Joseph, Paul, Noah, Abraham, Esther, Naomi, Jonah, Leah. I love that name. Love that story. Mary, Aaron, Daniel, Elijah, Adam, Nehemiah, Jesus. 40 days he did. I call it, just time. Sometimes you have to be just drug away so that you can be alone with God, so he can work on you, so he can speak to you kind of whispering in your heart, getting in there, like. So I've always had that in me, always. But sometimes I hated myself. Like, I'd get angry, I'd get upset, and I went with my flesh. I went totally with my flesh, like a lot. I got married whenever I was 17, after I'd had a car wreck that the doctors told me I had 48 hours to live through. I got married not long afterwards. That's something I'll talk about later. But I had a beautiful son. My kids are my angels. They are literally gifts from God to me. You cannot tell me God does not have purpose. You cannot tell me God does not, you can't tell me anything, because I can look at them and I know what I've been through, and there was purpose for it. Purpose. My boys are my angels. So I got to thinking, how am I going to open up and talk to people? Okay, I've gotten past the part where I'm not a prophet. I'm okay with that. I know that I had to go through a season of giving up everything so that I could sit here right now and talk to y'all. I could not come to you right now if I was still living in that sin and having all of them feelings of guilt, shame, just abandonment, everything, anger, just everything. I could not stand before God one day and know I was doing that and just then clicking this video off, and who cares, right? I'm not that kind of person, so I'm not going to do that. I wanted to also read about the fruits of the Spirit, because fruit, I said that's an important word, and it is, because it's in the Bible so much. And I wanted to be good. You always want to be good enough. We're never good enough, but I wanted to be a better person. I wanted to have a good spirit. I didn't want to have the shame, the guilt, all of the feelings that I carried. I didn't want to have them anymore. And so I started listening. Okay. Galatians 5:22 says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love. It's joy. It's peace. It's forbearance, kindness, goodness, and faithfulness." 1 Peter 3:11. "They must turn from evil and do good. They must seek peace and pursue it." 1 Peter 5:7. This is beautiful. "Cast all your anxiety on Him, because He loves you." Because He loves us. He loves us. We don't have to have fear, which I do, and anxiety. I get it, But that's comforting. That verse is comforting to me. Then I wanted to present myself to you with just a verse that, in my ear a lot. Okay. "She is clothed with strength and dignity, and shall laugh at the days to come." Proverbs 31, verse 2. Whenever you are clothed with that peace, and you are clothed with that dignity, you walk with a different purpose. You walk with a different light. You walk differently because you are different. And you're walking with somebody different. And you can laugh at the days to come because you know God's got you. God's humbled me so much throughout my life, and He's picked me up so much in my life that I know God has me. He's got me. He hears my prayers even when I'm not ready. He's got me. I know that. Psalms 28:7. I was reading this because I was nervous about getting on here and talking. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart thirsts in him, and I will be helped. Therefore, my heart... I can't read that word without my glasses on. And with my soul I shall thank him. Psalms 28:7. I'm going to read that one. Hebrews 4:13. And no creature is hidden from his sight, but all are naked and open to the eyes of him to whom we must give account. Hold on. Yeah, it's took me 38 years to get here. All right. So, Romans 12:2 says, don't be conformed of the world, but transformed by it. So, my personal things here lately. Don't be transformed by the world. Right? That's how I took it. All right. It says don't be conformed, but just don't. We're supposed to grow as spiritual beings. We're not supposed to be like everybody else. We're not supposed to have to wear a mask and fit in and do everything that everybody else wants us to do and do all that. We're not supposed to do all that. We're not supposed to be of this world. We're not supposed to want the world. There's nothing to gain there. But we can make a difference. We can make a difference to other people. Sometimes God can use us to do that. And I don't think that we should sit idly by and not allow that to happen, but to also do it with a pure heart whenever you're doing it. Matthew 11:28-30. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. He's telling us to learn from him. Learn from me. For I am gentle and I am humble. And in your hearts, and you will find rest in your souls. 30. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So we can find comfort in Christ. And I know we can. And I'm doing this first because I had a notebook, y'all. I still have it over there. Before I got ready to do this video, I wrote front and back pages of just verses. Like I was just backing up all these things in the Bible because I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. I do know that I started with the song "Come As You Are" because that's whenever I started this season and I wanted to just chase, and it's a beautiful song. And then now I'm listening more to like "It Is Well With My Soul." You know, I found that peace, and I want to be able to help somebody else with that. Proverbs 3:5-6. If we trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not rely on your own understanding, because I don't understand why I'm doing this, but I do. Acknowledge him in all your ways, and he will make your path straight. And God knows I want my path to be straight, but I'm a person and I fail a lot. We all do. There was one more thing that I wanted to read before I do anything. All right. I had wrote the same thing down twice. Then wrote the scriptures down another time. So I was like, I need to read this. Titus 1:6-16. An elder must be blameless, faithful to his wife, a man whose children believe and are not open to the change of being wild and disobedient. Since an overseer manages God's household, he must be blameless, not overbearing, not quick-tempered, not given to drunkenness, not violent, not pursuing personal gain. I capitalized verse 8, rather. He must be hospitable and one who loves what is good, who is self-controlled, upright, holy, and disciplined. He must hold
Raise up warriors, Lord, who will fight on their knees.
That prayer warrior. I don't know if y'all heard my ringtone there. Okay. Rather, he must be hospitable, one who loves what is good, who is self-controlled, upright, holy, and disciplined. Verse 9, he must hold firmly to the trustworthy message as it has been taught, so that he can encourage others by sound doctrine. Wow. Okay. Verse 10. For there are many rebellious people full of meaningless talk and deception, especially those of the circumcision group. They must be silenced because they are disrupting whole households by teaching things they ought not teach. And for that, the sake of only dishonest gain, people don't do things like that. That's not nice. Verse 12. One of Crete's own prophets had said Cretes are always liars, evil brutes, lazy glutton. 13. This saying is true. Therefore, rebuke them sharply, so they will be of sound in the faith. 14. And I will pay no attention to Jewish myths or to the merely human commands of those who reject the truth. To the pure, all things are pure, but to those who are corrupted and do not believe, nothing is pure. In fact, both their minds and consciousness are corrupted. 16. They claim to know God, but by their actions they deny him. They are detestable, disobedient, and unfit for doing anything good. I did not want to be that way. And I was sometimes. I didn't want to be that way anymore. Any of that. I wanted to be Galatians 5:22 through 23. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. Romans 8:5. Those who live accordingly to the flesh have their minds set.
Raise up warriors, Lord, who will fight on their knees.